Miami Heat Nation, what is going on? So, y'all see some unfamiliar players wearing a Heat jersey in this picture right here. You see Jrue Holiday and Kevin Durant, and also you see Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Khalil Ware. Well, today's video, we're going to be talking about how we could get Kevin Durant and Jrue Holiday on this Miami Heat team. Now, before we do start, like I said, it's the off season. We're just having fun. We're just trying to see some trades that the Miami Heat could potentially pull off, right? I just want you guys to understand that in the comment sections because it's not clickbait. This is nothing. We're just having fun. Until free agency starts, that's when we can start taking stuff serious. But right now, there's not much to talk about. You guys get it. But continue to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. And, you already know the deal. We're trying to upload every single day this year. And I couldn't do it without you guys. So I appreciate y'all. Now, shout out to Anthony DiNardo. He came up with this trade package right here. It's a massive trade. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's right here. Massive trade. It's involving 4 teams. So we're gonna start off with it. All right. So the Detroit Pistons get Sam Hauser, and they get a veteran point. Well, not a veteran point guard, but they get a point guard. And I can't even pronounce this dude's name, so I'm not even gonna attempt. All right. So cool. The Detroit Pistons, they kind of get a sharpshooter. So if they lose Tim Hardaway Jr. or Malik Beasley, they kind of replace him with Sam Hauser, which is a known good shooter. And they also get a veteran point guard if they don't bring back, I keep saying veteran point guard, but a point guard if they don't get back Dennis Schroeder. Cool. Now, the Miami Heat will be giving up a lot. Kind of. You're giving up Wiggins, which I think we're all completely fine with giving up Wiggins. We're giving up Terry Rozier, completely fine with it. These 2 players right here, some people may have a problem with it. I personally don't have a problem with it at all. But we're giving up Jovic and Jaime, which I'm very interested to see that DiNardo gave up these 2 players in this trade. But hey, we're going to let it rock. We're also giving up 2 first-round picks. So I'm going to be honest with you. The Miami Heat are giving up a lot. But you see who we're also getting, okay? So we're giving up 2 players that we don't really care about, Wiggins and Rozier. Completely fine with that. It's the Jovic and Jaime. I'm willing to give up both, probably not. But hey, this is just for this trade package. We give up Jovic and Jaime and 2 first-round picks. I think that's a lot. But for the Suns, they're looking at, okay, we get a player on an expiring deal in Terry Rozier. We get a player that can play with Devin Booker for the next couple of years in Wiggins. And we also get 2 young players that could turn into something with also 2 first-round picks, which is a lot for Kevin Durant. Just think about it. Then we look at the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are in a position where they're not even really going to get much. They do get a first-round pick, which is very, very interesting via the Golden State Warriors. And they also get a sharpshooter in Duncan Robinson, which I do think Duncan Robinson will be a very, very good fit for the Boston Celtics, to be honest with you. But now, the big part where everybody wants to know what the Miami Heat are getting. So obviously, you're getting Kevin Durant, you're getting Jrue Holiday, and you're getting Royce O'Neal. So that's a completely different team. I would love the addition of Royce O'Neal because he is a legit 3-and-D type of guy that you would want on your roster, right? We try to say that's Haywood Highsmith. No, that's not Haywood Highsmith. Royce O'Neal is what you call that, right? So when we can look up Royce O'Neal's numbers, I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys and show you what he brings to the table and stuff like that. So I'm going to pop it up on the screen for you guys right here so you guys know if you haven't really watched much of Royce O'Neal. So he averages about 9 points a game, shooting 42% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line, 4.7 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. He played 75 out of 82 games. That's what you like to see. Simple. I love hearing that type of stuff, right? Then when we go for what's it called? Just defense alone, he's about 0.9 steals and 0.5 blocks. Not bad. Not bad. Known as a solid defender, I would love to have him on this team. Simple. I really would. Then, if we look up Royce O'Neal, and then we look up his contract to see how long he's going to be with this team, of course, right? As you see on the screen, we'll have him for a couple of years. And he's on a fairly good contract. Think about this, guys. 10.8, 11.6, 10.1. That's a fairly good contract right there. So that's the type of guy that I would personally love to have on my team. And those are the depth pieces that you would love to have on your roster. Simple as that, right? So we get a Royce O'Neal. Then we get a player like Jrue Holiday, which we get our lead guard. Jrue Holiday is getting a little bit older, right? He's 34 years old. He averages about 11 points a game, 44% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.1 steal. But he's a upgrade over Terry Rozier. That's what we got to look at, guys, right? We got to look at the upgrade. He's better than Terry Rozier, even with how old he is, even how he's aging. He's just a better player. It's really just simple as that. And also when you're playing with Derek White and Tatum and stuff like that, your number's not going to look the best. But we don't need them. If we can get 12 points a game, but you're shooting 35, 36% from the three-point line, I'm going to take that. And then your assists, about 4 assists with a good defense, I'm going to take that because you're going to have Davion Mitchell back. You're going to have Jrue Holiday. You're going to have Royce O'Neal. You still have Haywood Highsmith. You still got Bam Adebayo. That's what you like. So you're getting players that are two-way players that can score and play defense. The problem with the Miami Heat is we got players that can play defense but just can't score. Like, you need to score. You know what I mean? So now I know the big question is, well, I don't mind taking Jrue Holiday, but his contract and this and that. And that's fair. Very, very fair, right? We can, which I'm going to pop up on the screen right here. This is Jrue Holiday's contract. I understand it. But sometimes, you got to take some risk. So 32 mil, 34 mil, and 37 mil. I'd rather have this over Terry Rozier and Andrew Wiggins. I promise you, I'd rather have this contract over those two players. Those players are completely awful and completely useless and did absolutely nothing for us in that postseason run. So I'm fine with taking this deal. Even Duncan Robinson, Rozier, and Wiggins were taking up so much of our cap. So I'm fine with taking a champion in Jrue Holiday that I know is going to play his best basketball. May not be hot every game, but defensively, he's going to go out there and work his butt off. I'm completely fine with taking that, right? And then, of course, the big prize, the big will, in my opinion, will be the Kevin Durant, right? Because then we get Jrue Holiday, Royce O'Neal, but then we also get Kevin Durant. You guys know how I feel about Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant. I want Kevin Durant on the Miami Heat, this roster, this year, ASAP. I mean, he's so talented. I understand he's aging. He's 36 years old, but 26 points a game, 52% from the field, 43% from the three-point line, 6 rebounds, 4.2 assists. I mean, those are very, very good numbers at 36 years old. Just think about that. You got guys like Paul George, who might be a little bit younger, I think he's a little bit younger, and can't even produce as well. Like Kevin Durant's a known bucket. He's just very talented, and that's the type of player you want teaming up with a player like Tyler Hero. So Tyler Hero doesn't always, the defense not always focused on him. Then we look at, Kevin Durant's contract and stuff like that. He has a couple years left, and I think that's fine. We go in the season with 2 years. I think that's a good spot. We kind of go see what happens after those 2 years. If we can compete, if we cannot compete, we'll see. But I'm fine with paying $54 million, unrestricted free agent, 38 years old. I'm completely fine with that. So I don't mind this trade at all. I like what the players we get in return. We give up all the players that we don't want, maybe outside of Jaime and Jovic. And to be honest with you, I can care less about, Jovic sometimes. Keep it a buck. But I like this, right? Because then we have a core of Mitchell, Holiday, Tyler Hero, Kevin Durant, Royce O'Neal, Bam Adebayo, Kel'el Weir, Pallel Larson. I mean, come on, guys. That's a solid 8 right there. And I know I'm missing people right now on top of my head, but that's a solid 8. And that's what you need in the NBA. You need depth. If you have depth, you can compete with anybody. Look at the Pacers. They're one of the deepest teams in the league. There's a reason why they're 3 games away from the NBA Finals. Look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're one of the deepest teams in the league. If the Miami Heat can get some good role players, but add star talent like a Kevin Durant and have role players like Holiday and Royce O'Neal with already star players with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, I'm willing to take it. But let me know what you guys think about today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Continue to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. Like I said, we're just having fun. It's the off season. Coming up with some trades. Shout out to Anthony Darnardo for coming up with this trade. And I'm out. Peace.